attending different schools. I finally started developing music. I play with different bands, and then we were traveling. We were some European countries and even in West Indies. We were in Barbados one time ago, 1981, end of 81, 82, for 3 months. And then I stopped playing music as an active musician, but I still have music. I go to the studio, record my own music, because normally what I do is I do everything beside playing melody instruments like guitars, bass guitars, and solo guitars and rhythm guitars. From drum, congas, and every percussion, I played it myself. And then the story writing, now I have written 8 books. Stories which I heard when I was a child here, and then most of the stories are my own stories. And then I have written 3 books, poems, 1 in Swedish and 2 in both Swedish and Mandinka and Nko. Mandinka has its own alphabet, which is called Nko. So I have a friend who is living in Uppsala, Karamojame, is a Gambian, who is expert in Nko. So he translates, prescribes, from Latin to Nko. And I have those books with me, and I have my CDs as a musician, which I have them with me. Now I have released 4 CDs. The songs are in Mandinka. The very reason why I sing in Mandinka, after living so many years in Sweden, I realized that it's very important to promote and to preserve our culture. And that's why some of my books are in both Swedish and Mandinka, since we have a lot of Mandinka speaking who are living in Sweden, and they have children who are half Swedish and half Mandinka. What I would like to do is, if those stories could be translated into Wolof, Fula, Mandinka, Jola, and all those, because I could remember when I was going to school, we were reading English books, like Mary, Mary, Come Here, or Lakayan, and all these things. For me, it's nothing bad, but I think as a child in those days, I found it very difficult to identify myself with those stories. So I decided to write stories which I can identify myself with, which even Gambians or West Africans can identify themselves with stories. So that's why I'm writing my stories in Mandinka and Swedish. In Sweden, if you write a book as a member of the Swedish pen organization called in Swedish Författares Förbund, which I'm a member of. Any book you write, the book has serial number and all these things. They're distributed into different libraries. And then it's on the net. If some people need my books, they order them. You have many writers in this country, if only they can write. Those storytellers, if they were writers or they were writing their stories, we would have lot of writers in this country. But as a child, as I started before, we ate dinner and then we were sitting with old people who were telling us stories. Now those stories storytelling is the first institution in human life. Because when I was a child, I have never seen, and not even my generation, even 2, 3, 4 generations before me, have never seen an elephant in this country, because it's a very small country and elephants are not living here. But when a storyteller was telling us about elephant, described elephant. So the first time I ever saw elephant in my life, I was never surprised, despite the fact that I have never seen it in reality. But I had a clear picture of an elephant. And so many words were used, and these words are only used during storytellings. And now, if storytellings are not going the same way when I was a child, today you have televisions, you have videos, you have so many other things. Now, children who are listening to those or looking at televisions, your program or somebody else's program, you find out that most of those words are not used nowadays, which means that our languages are getting smaller and smaller. And I don't know, if we continue like this, probably in 30 years time we will never have, we will not have Mandinka, Wolof or Fula or any other language. Me as a person, as a Gambian, I feel this is very important for our children who are living in diaspora to have their cultural identity. Then I feel that this is my duty, even whereas I'm not making any money out of it. I worked, and then my own money produced these books. So today, from where I'm living in Sweden, from Basse to Bansang, you can say from Basse to Gunjur, that is from Haparanda to Malmo, my books are in libraries. And many Gambians are very, very grateful that their children are going to the libraries to borrow books, that they are reading, they feel proud to be Africans. The advice I will give is that it is not an easy thing. And please don't ever give up, because so many doors are closed. Go on knocking. In one way or the other, doors would be open for you. We as Gambian writers in diaspora or African writers in diaspora, we can get in touch with those who are here, and probably we help each other. I do my very best for any Gambian writer or African writer who wants to have contact with me and wants advices, and I'll do my very best to help.
sama doom nido essentiel la koy jox ndax fer ak vitamine C bi mu àndal muy lu am solo ci seen màggaay ak seen dundu bés bu ne rax ci dolli nido essentiel dafay tax ma gën a mën a yaxanal sama xaalis. nido essentiel bu bees bi am na loolu vitamine C ak fer. nido essentiel baax na ci seen dundu doom baax na tamit ci njëg li.
Do you know what I've been saying out there? Yo, G-Click. They said I can never do it. I will never stand up. I never survive it. But I don't care what they say. I'ma do it my own way. And if these people can handle the way I do me, I won't have to answer. I finally be free. They say I should do how they say. But I'ma do it my way. Oh, let me tell you how I started, cause I just cannot hide it. I wish to kick it and forget it, but now my memory can't help it. I keep it right here deep in my pocket, but haters so soon, them want me forget. The biggest whim is to see me naked with hardship, but not single encouragement. I will correct them, but not to beef them, but from there they can start counting, cause this life that I am living, believe me now, I have defeat them. They switch off the light thinking I'ma fall apart. Well, now be clean, follow the words of the prophet. I stand with my flute at the middle of the market, fear no one and blow up my trumpet.